GC Films, creativity at its best.
Shalom, 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 Wakazak Mashpaka. Shalom to the 12 tribes of Yasharel scattered abroad. I want to welcome you all to another episode of Script Unveiled. And once again, let me just welcome you all by saying Shabbat Shalom to the 12 tribes of Israel. Like you all know that on this program, Script Unveiled, we are always here to bring the scriptures to break down every stronghold and also looking into some things that are happening among the awakened nation of Israel, which are actually not right. And we always try to go back to the drawing board to pick these scriptures to sort all things so we all can learn. Remember, we are different people, but we might make the same mistake. So we are here to talk about some little errors among the nation of Israel, and we need the scriptures to handle them so that those who might fall short in that aspect might watch the class, get some edification, and change for the better. But before I go on to today's topic, we'll be going on a short commercial break. Like you all know, when it comes to Script Unveiled, we are always coming here with new things to dissect and edify ourselves with. But before I let the cat out of the bag for today's episode, let us go on a commercial break, as we will be right back. Don't go nowhere.
For sponsorship and advert placement, please call or WhatsApp this number +234 811 731 0928. Who said that the righteous don't party?
It's party time! Fiesta!
Are you hoping to hold a show having an exclusive DJ come to mix with righteous songs from various Hebrew artists coming from different parts of the world, bringing their unique voices to praise Yahuwah using the ministry of songs, and also having a DJ who can help us mix the sync of musics together to make you shake your body and dance off your sorrow righteously? Please contact DJ UL Kingdom Music.
Yo, shalom and peace. Be encouraged. This DJ Yoel. Hold on to the vision the Most High gave you. He will bring it to pass.
For booking and inquiry, please call DJ Joel on +1 770 256 2241. Call us today and let's make your event a memorable one. Joel Kingdom Music, bringing the vibe of righteousness into your event. So, welcome back to the show. And like you all know, before we went to that commercial break, that we are always here to dissect scriptures to answer problems and issues that are happening within Israel. So on today's program, we'll be talking about one crucial topic which I titled the duties of a mother over her female children. Majority will ask, why did I choose to make this topic a duty of a mother over her female children? Because some will say that, but scripture said that the woman is meant to be done to guide the house and train the children and stuff like that. Truth be told, it is the mothers that are mostly at home because the fathers are not always at home. But the truth of the matter is this: when it comes to the female children require some special kind of training. The father is the head of the house, he oversees everything. But the father actually has a limit on some things that he can train the female children. For example, is it possible for a father to say he wants to sit his daughter down and teach her about the menstrual flow and things like all those feminine things? He can't teach her because he has not even experienced it. So how can he teach what he have not experienced? Or is there any particular scriptures in the Bible that tell the father how to teach their daughters on menstrual flows. Was it written in the Bible that there's a particular way they can calculate their calendar to know when their period will come so that they won't get out there and be stained and be disgraced? No. So there are some particular teachings, morals that are meant to be taught by the mothers to their female children. And what are they? You start with this, Leviticus. The book of Leviticus, there's Bashekra, chapter 19, verse 29. It says, do not persuade your daughter to be a whore. To cause her to be a whore. Do not prostitute your daughter to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom and the land become full of wickedness. Now, why does it say that? Do not prostitute your daughter to cause her to be a whore. How can you prostitute your daughter to cause her to be a whore? It can go in many ways. For example, now in a world whereby some parents have seen civilization now as their own source of income, whereby their daughters step out of the house, come back home with gifts, and they don't even care to even ask their daughters that where did they get these gifts from? Where did they get this money from? All what their mother care about is stomach. I call them the stomach infrastructure parents. They don't even care whether it is a gift from a man and this and that. They just don't care. Automatically, they will even be the ones to be praying for the daughters that where you got this particular gift from, it will not end there. It will continue to be replenished. These things and that. Meanwhile, they are practically making their daughter a whore. They are practically positioning their daughter because their daughter will believe that their parents or their mother or their father only care about what they bring in. So maybe they get it through prostitution, through whoredom. The parents don't even care. Automatically, their parents have approved that lifestyle. Also as well, some parents are even the one prostituting their daughter to become a whore. How? You are the one promoting their nakedness. The scripture says that our daughters are women that are meant to adorn themselves in modest apparel. But today we will have some mothers encourage their children to put on those immodest clothes. I've seen a lot of Israelite sisters, mothers for that matter, who will post pictures of their daughters saying, yes, it's my second, yes, it's my third, happy birthday, or something like that. Meanwhile, if you see that picture, to be the picture of their daughters putting on clothes that are not getting them covered up, clothes that expose their cleavage, that show off their curves. Some people go as far as putting on some kind of tight material that expose almost their shape and even reflect their underwear. But the question is this: are these mothers portraying a good mother to those children? We have some mothers that will be 34 years old and they're already a grandma. Now here's my question: at what age did that woman actually got pregnant, that she had a child, and the child also as well have gotten of age to also have a child that will make her a grandma? According to the Bible, it makes us understand the fact that from the age of 20 upward, that is when they can start counting adulthood or maturity. So if a mother of 34 can be a grandma, is he trying to tell us now that she actually started giving birth at the age of 20 and her own daughter started giving birth at the age of 14 for her to become a grandma? Not to tell you that we are living a life whereby even that the mother or the grandmother played a role to not be exposed to some adult lifestyle. That's why today in short, it's so rampant whereby we are having what we call teenage pregnancy. Simply because the parents as well, they don't even care to pay attention to their children. Civilization have made things actually go worse, that they don't even care anymore. But the scripture says that do not prostitute your daughter to be a whore. If your daughters actually are wearing those things that make them look like an harlot, you as a mother, you are meant to rebuke them. Don't say that but they are getting of age. Who cares if they are getting of age? It was after devil came into the fashion world that things actually went wrong. Because gone are those days of our grandparents, you will see our mothers dress up and they are all covered up. But today, they make women believe that until when they expose their body, that is when they can look beautiful. Meanwhile, they don't know that it is when you are actually uncovered, when you are fleshy, that is when you as a woman, you have lost your reputation. You have lost your dignity as a woman. Because every so-called man will be like, what's all there? After all, we've seen all what she's covering, we've seen all her cleavages, so what's there with her, whatever. We've seen how she wear tight booty shirt and stuff, we've seen what her butt look like. The question is this: is that what is meant to be kind of comment that is meant to be gotten on an Israelite child? Back to the scriptures, the book of 2 Esdras, chapter 15, verse 55. 2 Esdras 15, verse 55. I'll take it to verse 56. And it says, the reward of your whoredom shall be in your bosom. Therefore, you shall receive recompense. Yes, it says the reward of your whoredom shall be in your bosom. This goes in the aspect of both the child that committed that whoredom and the mother of the whore. For example, your daughter, you encourage your daughter to continue living a whorish lifestyle. On the day your daughter will end up getting pregnant for an irresponsible man, she will have to come back home, bring that pregnancy home for you to handle, to take care of. Now it becomes a burden upon you as that mother to take care of that girl with the pregnancy of an irresponsible man that neglects your daughters and rejects her pregnancy. But if you as a mother actually have warned her, she won't fall victim to get impregnated by an irresponsible man who only just followed her or lied to her that he loved her all because of he want to get his own initial whorish interest. Also as well, talking about that the reward of whoredom will be in your bosom. Yes, at some point, let's be honest ourselves. When it comes to all this sexual transmitted disease and infection, it mostly tells on women. It mostly tells on women. So when that woman also as well chose to be a whore, jumping around, also your daughters, when you refuse to rebuke them and teach them in the way of Yahuwah, they will end up growing to become a whore, and they will start jumping up from one man to another, and they will end up coming back home with infection that you end up blaming yourself for not training them well. Some will come back home with STI, some will come back home with HIV, some will come back home with AIDS. Some will even go as far as going into that whoredom, getting pregnant multiple times and aborting it, and at the end of the day, they end up getting their own reward by getting their womb damaged. Now, after some years, they'll keep saying, now I'm repented unto Christianity and this and that. And they get married to an innocent man, and they'll be in that man's house for 10 years and they'll never get pregnant. They are forgotten that the reward of their whoredom was actually right under their bosom. Verse 56, like as you has done unto my chosen, saith Elohim, even so shall Yahuwah do unto you, and shall deliver you into mischief. Yes, we have seen this kind of wicked woman or wicked women, let me use that word, because it's not only one, there are many. They will use this their wickedness and their evil Holy spirits. When the judgment comes upon them, they now look for innocent people to share that punishment with. As I sometimes tell people, beauty is not by what you see, beauty is by the spirit the person carries. She can have a beautiful face. She can have a nice shape. Anyway, she's putting on those clothes that can expose her body shapes. But the thing is this, the demon behind her, do you know? Majority now even look at the entertainment world now as their own role model. How do you expect Israelite children that are meant to be daughters of Zion, royal children, they will be taking Cardi B, taking Stefflon Don, taking Nicki Minaj, and the likes like that as their role model? When we all know that these people that are taken as a role model actually are always out there exposing their body, and we all know it's always so and so was dating this and this week. In the next 2 weeks, they broke up due to some whatever, blah, blah. They give us another media stories. The following week, you hear that she's already dating another guy again. And remember, since they're in the world, they do believe that the only way that they can say they want to practice love is by having sexual intercourse with each other. So automatically, she'll be jumping from this to this, having sex with this, jumping to this, have sex with this, jump to this, have sex with this. Is that the kind of moral lesson that our daughters are meant to pick? No. So why don't you, as a mother, train your children not to be a whore? They shouldn't understand the fact that they are royal daughters of Yahuwah. Not to be those daughters that will end up stepping out there looking like a child of Belial. Let's step further. The book of Husha, the book of Husha chapter 2. I'll take from verse 2 down to verse 6. And it says, plead with your mother, plead, for she is not my woman, and neither am I a man. Why did this word have to come out? That she's not his woman, neither is he a man. Because the woman actually has done something. Guess what that is? Let her therefore put away her whoredoms out of her sight, and her adulteries from between her breasts. So that means this woman actually, he said she is not his woman, and he is not a man because of her whoredom. In what way? Let's step further. Verse 3. Lest I strip her naked and set her as in the day that she was born. Remember, no one was born with clothes. And make her as a wilderness, and set her like a dry land, and slay her with thirst. Verse 4. I will not have mercy upon her children. Why? For they be the children of whoredoms. That's why most times I tell people, you as a man who is attracted to a woman based on the kind of whorish clothes she's putting on. Remember, whatsoever attracts a man sustains a man. So since it is a haughtiness that attracted you, get ready to know that when you get married to that woman, there's 100% probability that you'll be the father to bastards. Because she'll keep jumping to all her other lovers who also admiring her body out there, who she's sleeping out with, and she'll come back home with the pregnancy of those responsible men for you, the legal husband. So truth be told, the children actually are children of whoredom, because she got most of those children from those are external lovers. In their adulthood, she went out to go and commit. The next verse, verse 5. For their mother has played the harlot. Remember I said so. She that conceived them has done shamefully. Yes. You not modestly dressing, you playing a whore, you are actually performing a shameful act. Because every man that see you dressing in an enticing and a whorish way will put that finger of shame against your parents, against your household. Because you are the one now going out there to go and become a magnet to attract shame into that particular family. Let's keep reading. For she said, I will go after my lovers. She never said my lover, my lovers, because she's out there playing the whore. I remember, no woman can step out there to say she wants to look for an other boyfriend without trying to dress to attract. They keep saying they're putting on booty shorts, wearing some kind of clothes that show off their curves. Go as far as going out there without underwear to expose that, yes, this is what my cleavage look like. Some are even so stupid that they step out there without bra to let the world know what kind of thickness their nipple look like. Who cares about what you're trying to advertise? What will make a woman say this, that she will go after her lovers when she has a husband at home? Let's keep reading. That give me my bread and my water, my wool and my flax, my oil and my drink. So that means this woman actually has taken our whorish lifestyle, our fornicating and adulterous lifestyle as her own source of income. Because she's getting those things from her lovers out there. And it's even happening right here in Nigeria today. Majority of our young girls have turned whoredom to their own source of income. They are too lazy to work. They believe that at least when I go to the club today, if I see one of those internet fraudsters and ritualists out there, all they have to do is just pick me up for the night, have sex with me, and they get me paid, and I get the hell out of here. You didn't know that it's actually judgment for all this wicked and stupid lifestyle. Verse 6, therefore I will hedge up your way with thorns and make a wall that she shall not find her path. Yes, it's happened right here in Nigeria too. Most of this adulterous and fornicative and whorish ladies or girls, let me use that word, because at this point now the world has turned so bad that even teenagers are also committing the same whorish lifestyle. We have some teenage prostitutes out there. Now, how will they end up getting their way hedged up with thorns? That is why you keep hearing that these young ladies that indulge in this kind of whorish lifestyle, they end up falling victim to some kidnappers that will end up not just taking ransom over them, but they will end up being killed and butchered in pieces. But the question is this: if they had listened to warning, not to such a kind of lifestyle, they'll be like, you are against their progress, because they believe that the money they are making from that whoredom is progress to them. Some even go as far as falling victim of ritualists, whereby they get destroyed spiritually. I can't just pull up videos right here so that this class will not be banned. There are countless videos of some girls who are falling victim to these men. Is it the one that actually went with a strange person, or the name of trying to get money from the person, or from one night stand sex, and she ended up coming out as a mad girl? She ran mad. Who knows what the person she hung out with actually have done to her? But remember, she has collected gifts from that person earlier. I pray our women actually wake up. Leviticus 21 verse 9. Vayikra chapter 21, I will take verse 9. And it says, and the daughters of any priest. Remember, we in this truth, you as a messenger, you are more like a priest to Yahweh, because you are the one now out there to teach the commandment to his people. Remember that the book of Malachi even said that the priest lives to teach knowledge and receive the law out of his mouth. So that means if you are here to teach the law as a brother, you are a priest to Yahuwah. So what does the Bible says? It says, and the daughter of any priest, if she profane herself by playing the whore, she profaned her father. Do you think it's actually her father that went there to go and play the whore? No. But for the fact that she played the whore and her father is a teacher of the word, then she has profaned him too. Because to look as if he did not train her well. So why don't our people wake up from this kind of lifestyle?
For sponsorship, advert placement, please call or WhatsApp this number +234 811 731 0928. Who said that the righteous also can pull up a righteous swag? Lamentation chapter 4 verse 2 says that the sons of Israel are also referred as unto fine gold. This is enough to tell you that you can rock your swag and still yet be righteous. Join Great Awakening Clothing today to get the best of outfits, putting nice print, propagating the truth through your clothing to the face of every human on the street. We have it in varieties, from the face cap to the different designs of clothes, putting out the truth right on the cloth you're wearing, and also rocking the truth righteously in your swag, which we call the righteous swag of Great Awakening Clothing. That's why we are called clothing that ministers. For booking and order, please call +1 7 2 5 2 1 8 7 9 9 1. You can also visit our website at www.greatawakeningclothingline.com. Great Awakening Clothing LLC, the clothing that ministers.
Activate. 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 Activate.
So, welcome back to the show. So, like we were saying earlier before we went on that commercial break about the younger women. Now, majority would think maybe I'm just saying this actually out of my own mind, saying, how would I say there's younger women, the older women are meant to teach the younger women. Remember, if you don't get taught about some things, you cannot know anything. Even this strange language we are speaking, which is actually English. We are only speaking English because they taught us that particular language. Why do you think even till this day, we have some people that cannot even speak English? Why? Because they never taught them. We have some people that they can't even calculate. Why? Because they were not taught. So definitely for you to actually acquire some things, you need to be taught. So for you to be a virtuous wife, you ought to be taught by your mother on how to make yourself a virtuous wife, on how to have that value, that quality of a virtuous wife. To prove this, let's go to the book of Titus chapter 2. Titus 2, I'll take from verse 3 down to verse 5. And it says, the aged women, remember earlier I said the younger women. Now it's talking about the aged women, that's the elderly women, which are actually mothers. The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as is coming holiness, as is becoming holiness, not false accusers. Like we have a lot of mothers that are false accusers. For example, that wicked old lady that lied against me and put up all sorts of things against me in 2020. Yet IOIC are so stupid and dumb to think they can only protect the image of their bishop. To hell with their bishop. Let's get back to what we're talking about. Titus chapter 2 verse 3. Take it to that verse 5. Says, the aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as is becoming holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things. So that means you as a mother, you are meant to also be a teacher. So when I talk about teachers of good things, it means that you should be a teacher of encouraging your daughters to take gifts from strange men. Is you be a teacher of good things talking about you seeing your daughters put on whorish clothes and you still encourage them? You being a teacher of good things doesn't mean that you as a mother will hear that your young teenage daughter has a boyfriend and you can't rebuke her. Does you being a teacher of good things means you see your daughter putting on makeup to look artificially like a Chinese doll? Is that a good thing you're teaching your children, your daughters? If you've been a teacher of good things and your daughter can see you putting on those umbrellas, I won't call them lashes. Originally it's called umbrellas. How will your daughter see you put on those umbrellas, which are an instrument of harlot years ago? Your daughter will see you putting on those things, and I think she will not think that, yes, since my mother can put it on, yes, I can also put it on as well. Now today you can see teenagers of 13 years go to the salon to go and get those stupid things attached to their eyes. Why? Because their mothers, who is meant to be a teacher of good things, is also wearing the same idiot stupid thing. Psalm 50 verse 2 says that out of Zion, this pardon my stammering tongue. Psalms 50 verse 2 says, out of Zion, the perfection of beauty, Yahuwah hath shined. So how will you claim to be a daughter of Zion and yet you hang your beauty on those artificial makeup? Have you ever imagined what you look like when you wake up each morning and just use water to wash your face and stand before the sun and let the sun hit your face. Feel that sun effect on your face and know how beautiful you are. But the thing is, until when you start applying those crazy brands, Mary K, Mary F, Mary Q, Susan W, before it can look beautiful. If you as a mother is portraying that kind of lifestyle, how are you portraying how are you being a teacher of good things to your daughters? Let's get back to scriptures. Titus chapter 2, I'm taking verse 4 this time around. That they may teach the younger women. So that means you as a mother, your duty of being a good teacher of good things is to teach the younger women to be what? To be sober, to love their men, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own men, not to all men. Because some men will want you to obey their whorish interest. Like I think I've had one or two, how some men will be like, hey you, black woman, come here. And you expect that because he's a black man, he has to come here. Does that mean that you also will just also be so dumb and you go and meet him? Here I am. No. Only your husband had the guts to tell you, come here. Because he's actually a husband. He's a man. Obedient to their own men, that the word of Elohim be not blasphemed. Yes. So you as a woman actually, as an elderly woman, these are your duties, to teach the younger women these things. How can you teach your daughters to love their men if you don't teach them from the scriptures that they ought not to fornicate? They ought not to be that wife that will be unequally yoked with their husband. And all the other commandments about mothers here. Also, how will you also love your children? How can you teach them to love their children if they don't understand this commandment and teach it to their children? Because remember, the scripture itself proved that love is the commandment. Majority actually will not believe this. Let us pick that out real quick. The book of 1 John chapter 5. Let me take that. 1 John chapter 5 verse 3. It says, for this is the love of Elohim, that we guide his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. So that means if you claim that this actually is love, you ought to keep the commandment. So I don't really understand where they got their own love from, that they believe that love is all about that. They say love is just that affection. Who cares about the affection? Scripture says in the book of Jeremiah 17 verse 9 that the heart of a man is desperately wicked and deceitful above all things. Who can know it? Yet you think that affection is what? Yahweh, I laugh. To prove further, 2 John 6, it says, and this is love, that we walk after his commandments. This is the commandment, that as you have heard from the beginning, you shall walk in it. So that means the commandment that has been with us from the beginning is what we still ought to follow if we claim to say that we have love in us. So how can you love your children if you don't have the commandment, if you don't walk in the commandments and teach them the commandments? So how do you actually want to love your children? Mothers, you have a lot of things. You have a lot of things to do. First Timothy, back to scriptures. 1 Timothy, I'll take chapter 2, and I'll take verse 9 and verse 10. And it says, in like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broided hair, or gold, or pearls, or costly array, but which becomes women professing reverence for Yahweh with good works. So why the scripture says that women should be adorned themselves in modest apparel and with shamefacedness and sobriety? Because fine, truly, Yahweh has blessed our women with shorts, not the way our women alone. He blessed Israel with good hair. The woolly actually is a blessing because it grows. Being wool actually, it keeps growing up, just like we have the trees grow bigger and up like that. So the thing is, you as a woman, you are not meant to let worldly things be your own priority. As I said, that not with braided hair or gold or pearls or costly array. Fine, we can't step out there naked. If Yahweh actually have blessed you, you can say you want to buy whatever clothes, modest clothes that you want to buy. You can still choose to make modest clothes that has gold all over it. It's up to you. It is what you actually can afford. But are you actually portraying that good spirit that a righteous woman is meant to portray? Are you actually putting on those modest clothes that you're meant to wear? Like we have all these entertainment demons who step out into the runway, coming on stage with some clothes. Even some will say they are coming out to collect awards. See them wearing clothes that dazzles. But if you check the clothes well, they are clothes that expose their body. They expose their cleavage. So what's the essence of them saying they are putting on clothes that are dazzling when they are actually immodestly dressed? 1 Corinthians chapter 11. 1 Corinthians chapter 11. I'll take verse 3 and I'll take verse 5. And it says, I would have you know that the head of every man is Mashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Mashiach is Elohim. So that means you as a woman actually, Yahweh has made the man to be your head. So the question is this, you as a woman, I know that civilization has ruined everything. It has made our women become feminist. And they think that they have this strength to stand before a man. Some even go as far as disrespecting a man. But the question is this, if Yahweh said that the man is the head of the woman, why can't our women also teach this to their children? Now we are in a world whereby some women are even so egoistic that they can even talk to the face of the man, disrespect a man even to his face, because that is what they are being taught to. But we as an awakened nation of Israel, to our heritage, it is the duty of mothers to train their daughters on this same manner, that they should learn the hierarchy as Yahweh actually have made it. We are actually in a world filled with wickedness. We are in the world, but we are not of the world. Your daughters may actually step out there, because you can't make your daughter to become you can't just how will I put it? You can't just get your daughters grounded that they will never see the daylight, they will always be at home. You definitely step out there. Whatever you've taught your children, whatever you've trained your daughters to become, is what they will step out there to still portray. Am I making sense? Because if you have trained your daughters that this is what the scripture says, this and this and this and this and this and this and this, even when they step out there and they see other young girls is expecting men, it is going to be a glory to Israel when your daughters step out there looking royal in their modesty, and they can also call other women to caution that no, you are not meant to be standing before a man to respect him like this. A man is meant to be the head. You are meant to respect and reverence a man. At that point there, it is because they can say those things because you as the mother have trained them to understand the hierarchy. Verse 5, it says, not every woman who prays or prophesy with her hair, with an uncovered head, disgrace her head itself, but it is a disgrace for those who are shaven. So that means when a woman actually is praying, she ought to get her head covered. And at the same time as well, remember that the hair of a woman actually is her beauty. It is her glory. I know that some people actually will have started raising their mouth now saying we actually did get that from, this and that, blah blah blah. let me just show you this actually, so you will not think I'm bringing things actually out of my own mind. Look at that same chapter, 1 Corinthians chapter 11. I'll take verse 15. It says, but if a woman have long hair, it is a glory to her, for her hair is given her for a covering. Why do you think women actually have their woolly hair? Like, I've seen a lot of my sisters with their woolly hair, and whenever they snap pictures with it, I'll be like, wow, it looks more like an umbrella to protect their face, and they're looking good. It's a glory to our women. Look at those times of old when we still have our grand ancient parents rocking the afro, even both men and the women. So for nowadays that we have women now going on low cut, shaving their head off, who actually sent them? Now they are so dumb that they shave off their head to put on fake hair, put on wigs. Who are you fooling? And it's not their fault. If they've never seen their mother do such a thing, they will not go after the same path. Because it is what you teach, that is what you will get. Whatever the teacher is, so will the students be. So if the mother actually is a negative mother, she should never expect to have a positive daughter. It's not possible. It is not possible. Let me just take these scriptures. 1 Timothy chapter 2 verse 11. 1 Timothy chapter 2, 11 and verse 12. And it says, let the woman learn in silence. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. Now, here's my question. When the scripture here says that, let the woman learn in silence with all subjection, does that mean that the woman don't have a right to ask questions? That is why even in the camps now, they are so dumb and so stupid that they think that it means the woman should never even speak at all. But my question is how about to our sisters who are still single and they have some questions that are bothering them? How will they get answers to them if they don't ask questions? I remember like when I was saying with RUIC, they do teach and that if a brother speaks to a sister, pardon me. So, why will these women, or should I say that, why will this leadership of this organization think or portray or give such kind of lies? Because if they tend to say, like they used to tell us back then, they will say, if a brother should speak with a sister, that he has committed fornication. Then I ask them, show me where scripture says that speaking to a sister actually is fornication. Then if they can say so in their own organization, are they not trying to tell us now that for Yahusha to visit Mary and Martha at home, he has committed fornication with them? Remember that when he went there, the two sisters actually, one chose to go to the kitchen to entertain them, while the other chose to sit by his feet to learn, because he has questions to ask. So how will this leadership of this demonic organization think is until all the women that they've gathered in the congregation all over the world come to them for knowledge? So that should never mean that women should just remain so dumb and silent when they need to ask questions where they can get knowledge. No. It means that they should learn in silence, because we know that at some point women know how to run their mouths. So if they can learn to apply Proverbs 10 verse 19 to refrain their lips, it can help them so that they can acquire knowledge than them asking irrelevant questions or try to counter what is being taught when they need to sit down, humble themselves and learn. Verse 12, it says, but I suffer not a woman to teach, nor usurp authority over a man, but be in silence. Yes. You as a woman, like I do tell people, there's a way you handle matters. Proverbs 15 verse 1 says that Proverbs 15 verse 1. Let me just get it real quick. And it says, a soft answer turns away wrath, but grievous words stirs up anger. What does that tell you? There's a way you use your word actually that will get the person next to you offended. That's why I tell people, you as a woman, you might actually be, should I say, you as a woman can be so mild, you might be so gentle. Let me start word. But the thing is this, even if I say that a woman has no right to teach or support authority over a man. So what make you think that there's not a way you can talk that will make your husband or your man understand some things? Fine, the scripture says that woman ought not to support authority over a man. The woman can't have authority over the man, yes. But there's a way that she might speak with him and open his eyes to see some things on a different perspective. Not for her to say that, no. I know this thing way more than you. This is where you are meant to do it. This is where you are meant to do it. Look at the way they are fooling themselves in the Christian church, having a woman actually as their pastor to teach a man in the congregation. What madness. Even if she wants to teach, she's meant to go into the midst of other women to teach them. Not to come to the garden of men and say she wants to come there to teach them. But even though when we are home, as man and wife, there's a way that at least we can handle matters. We men actually, we are not a fountain of all knowledge. That scripture said that he gave us an helpmate to become a teammate. There are some things that I might want to, there are some moves I might want to take. And my wife might be like, wait, but my husband, why don't you look at it in this direction? Look at that word. Why don't you, not that, why don't you do it like this or do it like this? Then why don't you look at it in this direction? This, and this, and this. And you as a reasonable man, you are meant to pick that word, dissect it, scrutinize it, and see the knowledge you can get from it. Not for you to now start opening your loud mouth to support authority over a man and you want to go and teach a man. So this will tell you that sisters, you have a lot to do. You have a lot of role to play in the life of your son, of your daughters. I know some sisters actually have mothers to sons. That's why even the Bible itself says, the book of Sirach chapter 4, Ecclesiasticus chapter 4 verse 10. It said something there. It said that's for we brothers now. It said, be as a father unto the fatherless, and instead of an husband unto their mother, so shall you be as the son of the Most High, and shall love them, and shall love you more than their mother does. So that means we as men of Israel, we are not meant to fold our arms to watch our sisters train their sons alone. It is our duty as men to help our sisters to build their sons to become strong men for the future. So there's a way you can do things when you have women who are actually in your care. So for this reason, I believe that we men also as well need to understand that our women can't train their sons alone. It is our duty to help these our sisters to bring up their sons and train them to become future men, because she can only teach the children she have in her care based on her own ability as a woman. Or is it possible for a woman to train a boy to become a man? It's not possible. So for this singular reason, I urge all brothers who are in the truth to see how they can take up that mantle, to love the sons of our single sisters, and see how we can help them to breed up their boys to become men of the Most High. So for that sake, I'll take it as a wrap for today's show. I pray that our sisters learn from this class on their major duties on how to train their daughters to become virtuous women for tomorrow. Also as well, if you have any question and you have some things you want to learn more about, here's my WhatsApp number on the screen right here. Please feel free to text me up on WhatsApp, but always remember, whenever you're trying to text me, ensure that you introduce yourself. The scripture says in the book of Sirach chapter 6 verse 7, says, if thou will get a friend, prove him first. So if you want to prove yourself, please identify yourself first when you are texting me on WhatsApp. Then come up with your questions, and Yahweh's will, I am here to give you answers right from the scriptures to cast down all strongholds. So with that being said, I will say Shalom Wakazak Mashpaka. May the peace and blessings of Yahweh be with you all. And also as well, please, and please, learn to stay strong, never lose faith. We can see that the end is near. And scripture says that he that endureth to the end shall be saved. Let us say I can keep pushing on, keep pressing on in prayers, in fasting, in supplication unto Yahweh, so that we can get that trophy of the kingdom to come.
For sponsorship and advert placement, please call or WhatsApp this number +234 811 731 0928. Who said that the righteous don't party?
It's party time. Fiesta.
Are you hoping to hold a show having an exclusive DJ come to mix with righteous songs from various Hebrew artists coming from different parts of the world, bringing their unique voices to praise Yahweh using the ministry of songs, and also having a DJ who can help us mix the sync of musics together to make you shake your body and dance off your sorrow righteously? Please contact DJ UL Kingdom Music.
Yo, shalom and peace. Be encouraged. This is DJ Yoel. Hold on to the vision the Most High gave you. He will bring it to pass.
For booking and inquiry, please call DJ Joel on +1 770 256 2241. Call us today and let's make your event a memorable one. Joel Kingdom Music, bringing the vibe of righteousness into your event.